Hello, good afternoon. Welcome to my class in English 8. Are you ready? By the way, I am teacher Alexis. I am your discussant for today. So, right now, I will be going to introduce to you our topic for today about, can you guess? Right, figures of speech. Did you have any understanding about the figures of speech? Right, now let's proceed. This time, let us know or let us talk about the best or the common figures of speech. But before that, let us know what is the use of these figures of speech and what is the purpose or what is the relevance of this. Authors often use figures of speech in both literature and poetry to enhance their writing. Figures of speech present ordinary things in new and unusual ways. They communicate ideas that go beyond the word's usual or literal meanings. So, the first figures of speech is simile. Yes, it is comparing two unlike things with the use of like or as. The hint word there is like or as. So if you are comparing two unlike things, then you are using like or as. That is right, simile. For example, she ran like the wind. Again, she ran like the wind. So there are two unlike things in a sentence. The word run and the wind. So you are comparing the two unlike things, the run and the wind, then you are using like. So in the explanation here, running and the wind are unlike things. When you compare the speed of running to the speed of the wind, then you are using simile. Exactly. Again, simile if you are comparing two unlike things with the use of like and as. So another example of simile for further understanding. The snow was as thick as a blanket. She was as light as a feather. You are acting like a baby. He felt like a bug under a microscope. His temper was as explosive as a volcano. So as you can see in the sentence, it was highlighted there, the hint word, in order for you to know what figures of speech is that. Right, they are using like or as. Now, let us know if you know already what is simile. Which of the following is not an example of a simile? There are three sentences in the picture. The first sentence is, he is as messy as a pig when he eats. The second sentence, he eats like a pig. The third sentence, he is a pig. So as you can see, the first sentence, the second sentence, and the third sentence are comparing two unlike things. But again, which of the following is not an example of a simile? What is the answer? Right. It's the third sentence. Because, yes, it is comparing two unlike things, but it does not use the like or as. So the second figures of speech is the metaphor. Again, the metaphor. Metaphor is similar to the definition of a simile, but there is one important difference between the two. Remember, the definition of simile has two parts. Two unlike things are being compared. Then, the words like or as are used to make the comparison. There will also be two parts to the definition of the metaphor. So, metaphor versus simile. Use the following examples to figure out the definition of the metaphor. So, simile, Fedo is like a teddy bear. Another example of simile is Fedo is as soft as a teddy bear. While in metaphor, Fedo is a teddy bear. So in metaphor, you are comparing two unlike things without using like or as. Another example, simile, that boy is like a pig. Another simile, that boy is as messy as a pig. But in metaphor, that boy is a pig because, again, in metaphor, you are comparing two unlike things without using like or as. Now, let's proceed to the third one, which is hyperbole. Think about the following examples of hyperbole. You will later select the best definition for these figures of speech. My backpack weighs a ton. So, another example of hyperbole. The wolf was 100 feet high. Another example. You could have knocked me over with a feather. I've told you a million times. Which of the following is the best definition for hyperbole based on the examples given previously? A. A major understatement, the opposite of exaggeration. B. A true statement that accurately describes a person, place, or thing. C. A major exaggeration or overstatement used for emphasis or humor. What is your answer? Right, it's letter C. A major exaggeration, overstatement used for emphasis or humor. And that is hyperbole. Next is personification, giving human traits or characteristics to something that is not human, such as animals, objects, or non-living things. Think of it this way. When a writer uses personification, he or she gives characteristics of a person to an animal, object, or thing. So another example of personification. The willow tree shook her long hair. So this example is referring to the way that the willow tree's long branches sway in the wind. By saying shook her long hair, the tree is given characteristics of a human. Another example of personification. The car danced across the icy road. The angry clouds march across the sky. The stars in the clear night sky wink at me. The tulips nod their heads in the breeze. So as you can see, the subjects in the sentences are an inanimate objects. It's not a human. However, it uses words or action words as if they are like a human being. So now let us recap what I have been discussed today. Again, my topic for today is all about figures of speech, namely simile, metaphor, personification, and hyperbole. The four figures of speech for today. Again, when we say simile, you are comparing two unlike things with the use of like or as. When we say metaphor, you are using, or you are comparing rather, you are comparing two unlike things without using like or as. When we say hyperbole, you are using words that are too much, words that are exaggerated. And lastly, the personification. When we say personification, you are using the human characteristics to an inanimate object. Right. Is it clear? Are you learning? That's good. Now that ends my presentation. Bye-bye.